What's going on, guys? Jesse 504 here, bringing you WPF semifinals. That's where we're at now. And as with all playoff matches, we're gonna start with our opponent's team and their season. We are going up against Fire Monkeys. He's had a very shaky season. I believe he started out 2-5. He started out like 2-1. Fell to 2-5, and then made it back up to 5-5, playoffs 7th seed, and then won his first round playoff game against Twigs, who beat us in the regular season. So clearly, very solid battler. We see a lot of big numbers for his differentials: 6, 6-0L, 6, 5, and then a lot of threes there. But yeah, let's just go over his team. He has his menace of a Dragapult. And this thing is super good into my team, if I'll be completely honest. I just, don't deal with, Specs Shadow Balls. But, sort of in a way, neither does he. His team kinda also loses to Dragapult, which is really nice when we have Ditto. He also has a Florges. Decent defensive mon, can't hit steals at all. So it's kinda like fodder for Scizor, which is nice. We've got Chestnut, which is a nice defensive mon to sort of play into my team. I don't know if it comes, but it could as a potential Scizor answer, although I do have ways around it with my Scizor. Up next is the Muck. Solid mon. Good tier 3. Only weak to ground is nice. When my ground type's Rhyperior, it's even better. Mudsdale, very bulky, annoying mon. Obviously, with the stamina ability, I can't really hit it too many times on the physical side, at least, before it is just not taking that much. Thankfully, it doesn't have good recovery outside of rest, which is nice. Up next is his Wishy-Washy, which, it's an okay water. I'm not sure how reliable it is, but he's seemed to have brought it to many games. So hopefully it is. I mean, I don't see it coming versus me, but you never know. Up next is Metacham, which it's just a scary mon. It really lacks switch-ins. Thankfully, only 100 base speed is kind of low, which is nice. Just gotta be conscious of that thing. Just really not having switch-ins really pressuring my team. You got Electros here, which is another solid mon. Does a lot. Its move pool is pretty good. It's probably, if it comes, I think AV is a solid bring on it with a fire move. For Scizor, and then just a bunch of other coverage, maybe knockoff, Giga Drain, stuff like that. Aerodactyl, fast mon, which helps him bridge down his speed tiers, which are a bit iffy. I believe it goes Dragapult, Arrow, and then you got a big hole to Pyroar, and then Mega Medi. Up next is Pyroar. I don't see it coming. It's an mon. It can do something, but I just don't see it coming. It really lacks coverage. And then lastly is this Melmetal, which is obviously such a menace. It's incredible as a mon. It's a steel type here, so this is his Lele check, I guess. So that thing will probably be switching in on my Lele a lot, but yeah, this is his team. I don't really have as much time to go over it as much, but his main threats that he's used all season, I know he made some transactions late into the season, but he has his Dragapult and his Melmetal that have both put in a ton of work. Metacham, I think he's only had it for a little bit, but it's done well when he's had it. Wishy-Washy's surprisingly been brought a lot, same with Chestnut, but yeah, let me pause this and then go right over to the team. And as for what we are bringing, starting off with Zarude, Choice Scarf, Leaf Guard, Larry, U-Turn, Power Whip, Close Combat. Speed is to outspeed Modest Dragapult. I believe that he affords Modest here very easily by a couple points, and then with the Scarf we'll be able to outspeed Modest Scarf Dragapult, and he has no reason to try to creep a Scarf Zero or Scarf Zarude, just because it would be faster anyways. So I think that he just goes Modest and outspeeds my Noivern. So we're going to take advantage of that with a very bulky Zarude set. Max attack adamant with 216 in HP, 40 and speed is all we needed to outspeed the Dragapult that I think he's gonna bring. It's a little risky not going like a little more speed, but I really like just having very bulky Zarude sort of as my Dragapult switch in. I know it can U-turn and do a chunk, it can flamethrower or fire blast and do a chunk, but really it's a Dragapult. There's not much that you can do into it. It's got Lariat, U-turn, Power Whip, and CC, and obviously these are the EVs. Up next, Mega Scizor, Scissorite, Technician, Roost, Dual Wing Beat, U-turn, Bullet Punch. I believe Bullet Punch, 2 KOs, Max Fizdaff, Florges. I had some defense EVs, I believe, to not get 2 KO'd by Melmetal's Double Iron Bash, some Spadaf, and then a little bit of speed to try to catch a creeping Florges. So we'll see. Up next, Ditto, Scarfed, I think, works, yeah. It's gonna do Ditto things. He doesn't have great answers to a Mega Metacham, nor does he have good answers to a Dragapult. Even Melmetal, his answers aren't really there for, so we've just got this Ditto. Up next, Ololowak, Thick Club, Rockhead, Flare Blitz, Poltergeist, Sub-Wisp. This thing, I'm trying to see if somehow he just like doesn't run any speed on his floor, just I'll be faster than that thing, which is really cool. And he just really lacks good switch-ins to Marowak, which is really nice. I mean, no team has a good switch-in, but like Mudsdale is 2 KO'd by Poltergeist or Flare Blitz. It's absolutely absurd. Up next we have Keldeo. Specs Keldeo punches a hole in his team if I can get it in front of the right stuff. Justified for the ability, obviously. Aura Sphere, Flip Turn, Icy Wind, and Hydro Pump. Really just, yeah, comes in and it does damage. His Hydro Pump switch-ins aren't that good. We can always just end up flip turning out on them, so it's nice. Gotta be mindful of Chestnut. I actually think that Air Slash might be better for Chestnut compared to Icy Wind for Dragapult, just because Hydro is still doing a chunk to that thing anyways. And yeah, we'll see if I come to regret that later, but hopefully I don't. And then lastly, we've got Lele, Kasib Berry. We've got a very bulky, weird Lele set here. Psychic Surge with Nature's Madness, Psychic, Moonblast, Taunt. We really didn't need to run any speed here, just because of his speed tiers, which was really nice. So we ended up going with this spread. I believe we live Shadow Ball with Kasib Berry into Shadow Ball from a non-LO, non-Specs Dragapult, and we OHKO it back with Moonblast, which is really cool. We have Nature's Madness to catch an incoming Melmetal, which is nice, and then Psychic Moonblast, yeah. So this is my team. If you guys couldn't tell already, I'm very anxious. I just want to get this over with, but see you guys in the battle. Alrighty, so I'll admit the nerves got to me. I could not speak clearly for y'all, and the video would have just been like, what's going on? Yeah, it was just unwatchable. My nerves really kicked in, just because semis match, you know, high stakes. Winner obviously gets to play in finals, which is huge. Always a great accomplishment to make finals. Really fun to play in as well. Those are even more high intensity. We already have one next week with LBT. So let's see if we can make it 2. It'll be crazy. So team preview was interesting. 2 months that I just didn't see ever in box being Pyroar. I just didn't think that it was good. And then Alolan Muck. I don't know why I sort of brushed this thing off, but realistically, like, yeah. And then he didn't end up bringing Chestnut, which is annoying for my Keldeo. He also brings the Muck. I had EQ on my Marowak originally, but then I just never faced a Muck in a Muck, and I was like, you know, I just looked at the default calc, and Ololowak did like 90% min to a Muck anyways. So I was like, yeah, there's no reason to have EQ on there when Blizz is just doing so much anyways. But little did I know that Muck just really is great against my team. So we see Alolan Muck lead, which was like, yeah. And then I was like, I click U-turn here because in every single mock I did, I led Zarude, and it was really always like a no drawbacks lead. I think I led into Pult 3 out of 4 times, something like that, which was nice. leading into Pult, and then they would be forced to switch reading Scarf, and I could just get a free U-turn off. And it ended up like trapping them in a sort of vortex early game where Alolawak was just gonna get in on Florges, which was always the Keldeo switch in as I click flip turn, and then Alolawak got in and claimed one like every single time. That's how the Mox went. So I U-turn here, and I believe I just go out into my Scizor, and then I'm Mega, Knockoff comes out, and then I'm Mega Evolve, as he goes out into Mudsdale. So I was like, okay, we're in the loop now, we're in the loop. Here comes the Mudsdale. I'll click U-turn, he can have his stamina, that's fine. But out comes my Keldeo, and you're forced to switch out your Mudsdale, because that's your Alolawak check, you think to yourself. But no. That chip is very significant on the Mudsdale. Actually, I flip turn Florges, and then because of my speed creep, out comes the Marowak, and you're sacking. You go Mudsdale, alright, boom, Flare Blitz, watch that, 62%. And if he didn't take that chip from the Scizor, it would have lived a second one, which was nice that we got it off. Flare Blitz, now the Mudsdale is down, and you're like, oh shit, kind of starting to panic. Out comes the Dragapult, and I was like, okay, I can go Lele, but I think he's just like gonna click U-turn, was actually what I thought. I thought it was just like a raw U-turn coming out, so let me poltergeist this, whatever switches in. But he actually just drops a Draco, and we eat, which is huge. Poltergeist, and boom, there goes the Dragapult. And after the game, he told me that his Dragapult was not set up just because he feared the Ditto too much, which was nice that Ditto ended up putting in that amount of work. Even if it didn't come, Ditto was just a monster just to stare down. But yeah, up next we see the Pyroar. I'm like, yeah, okay, gotta switch out now. Out comes my Keldeo on a Dark Pulse. We get the justified little boost. And I was like, Florges is probably just going to come in again. But here, I clicked flip turn, and I was like, okay, now I get another Mon with Alolawak. I could have gone Scizor as well. But really, this was like my last safe Alolawak switch in besides sacking. So we Flare Blitz, revealing that we just dropped a ton of speed investment into our Marowak to be faster than the Florges. But it ended up paying off, because we would have lost our Alolawak to that thing. But we ended up taking out the Florges. Alolawak's already claimed 3. Which is huge. Pyroar comes out. I just got into my Lele. I didn't realize that this thing was going to be doing so much damage with a Fire Blast. Like, that's crazy damage. And I was like, okay, I might want to conserve. Instead of taking his kill for some reason, I don't know why he didn't just take a kill. Maybe he thought we were scarfed. But you would have seen off the investment. So I Nature's Madness the Melmetal. He EQs. Lele lives that. I don't know what he was predicting to come in. My double iron bash switch-ins aren't great. He protects. I psychic. And now Nature's Madness is doing more, so I click that, of course. And then Melmetal is down a lot. Double iron bash. Boom. There goes my Lele. And at this point, Alolawak gets another one. So, yeah. First 4 kills of the game, all to Alolawak, which is huge. Up next, Pyroar comes in. Like, I guess I see why he brings it now, because I don't switch into this Mon. It's actually kind of weird. But I got into my Ditto. He clicks Hyper Voice. We take a lot. But here's the thing, is that we get to Hyper Voice him back, and he Hyper Voices us. We both die, so now it's just Muck versus the world, basically. I go out into my Alolawak just because I was looking at the calcs and I was like, damn, this should be doing at least 90. But actually, I do only 70, revealing that he was incredibly FizzDef invested. But I was still calcing with an AoV on. So at this point, like, I go Keldeo, I click Pump, I hit, I win. But I just don't know how to recalc for some reason. So I go Wing Beat and we miss, which is unfortunate, as he clicks Fire Punch. And then I I click Wing Beat this turn as he clicks Recycle. And I leave him, no, I click Roost, as he clicks Recycle again, I believe. Yep, he recycles again. And at this point I was like, oh wait, he's not AV? And so I turn with the Scizor into Keldeo as he goes for a fire punch and we eat that, and then I was like, oh yes, hydro pump KOs. We hit the hydro pump. We are in the semifinal or the finals actually, baby. Two very close playoff wins get us there. We faced Paco. His team, it's just such a pain in the ass. Like, we dodged it regular season. If we lost that meme match, that would have been our round one. But instead, finals. 3 seed versus 4 seed. You know what's crazy? We went the entire playoff run being the higher seed for compared to our opponents, which is interesting. But we're kind of like up against like a semi-stall team. It's got like Zapdos, which is just a fucking issue and a half. So yeah, stay tuned for how we try to beat a Zapdos. Hint, we don't. But yeah, so we ended up able to clutch finals in a second league. So next week's a big one. But yeah, until next time, Jesse504 out. Peace.